entertainment review. Today I'm going to explain to you step by step how I was able to make those beautiful blocks that you'll be seeing. I think some of you have been seeing them, but not all of you, and I'm here to show you how I managed to make them. Mind you, I had zero experience before starting this, so this is actually amazing for me. It's a nice journey to share with you. So I'm here to give you a few things that enabled me to actually pull this off. The aim was, or the goal was 6,000 blocks. You understand? Initially, we had about 1 week to do this. Actually, we had planned on 3 days, which is possible actually if you are using an automatic machine, but we were using a manual machine. So we ended up pulling this off in 2 weeks. And considering we had zero experience, for me, I think it was a win. Financially, it cost, the labor and everything went farther than we had planned, but I'm glad the blocks came out. They were perfect. They were strong. Everything was perfect. Now, the steps that I took to pull this off, importantly, it is, first of all, you have to have material. I know you can say maybe if you have small space like I did, I didn't have big space. So I couldn't have a lot of stone dust in one place at the same time. But I had the sand. Yeah, I had the sand. I had about 20 tons, 25 tons, 20 tons around there, but we went up to almost 30 tons of sand. Now, cement wise, I think we used about 125 bags, 130, around there. And I already told you what the mixture was. Now, when it comes to labor, I had 2 people who are responsible to make that mix. You understand? So what I did, I divided the steps of the job. There is someone supposed to press the machine. Someone's supposed to collect the material from those chunks, those piles. We relocated to the lower side, but we started from the farther side. That's where we're making from. So in the end, we ended up making from here because the other side was piled with blocks. So the parts that required a lot of energy, I gave it to two people. And whatever didn't require a lot of effort, there was 1 person for it. So I had 2 people to mix, 2 people to press, 2 people to move the blocks from the machine because there were 2. And if 1 person is moving at the same time, that's slowing you down in a way. I had 1 person who was responsible for moving the material from the chunks. I had someone who was supposed to arrange the wood, stuff like that. I had a person for every step, meaning 1 person was not supposed to move from now mixing to go and then get material. No. See, this way, the process moves faster. I know it looks like you're putting out a lot of money, but you're not, because in the end, this is faster. It will save you a few days of paying all of them. You'd rather pay maybe 4 or 3 extra people than paying all of them for extra days. You understand? That's a trick I learned. You can employ a lot of people to do a job, but just know when there is many of them, there is no excuses. There is nobody telling you, oh, I had to go and get the material. No. Stick to what you're supposed to do. And everybody, it's a chain. Yeah, it's a chain. And you have to lay something below you. You put those blocks, by the way, because they can consume water from the soil. And when the block keeps wet and it's not drying up, that's not good for you, because it will stay heavy. And when it comes to, you can build with it, but you can't build more than a bunch of courses with a wet block. Believe me, you can do very few courses, which is very limiting for you. Now, the other thing that you have to consider is, so for me, this wood where you see these blocks being laid, for me, the type of blocks I was making would dry really fast. They were strong. They didn't. So I could pile them in 24 hours. I would pile up. You understand? And it was safe for them. So I didn't spend so much money buying wood to sit the blocks, all this stuff. I didn't. But you have to cover them. Don't allow rain to hit them. Rain is not good for them. It kind of washes away the cement from the block, and it's like soil erosion. It erodes. Understand? The other thing that you should put into consideration is management. Management has to be good. You have to know to be with, or if you're not on ground, hire somebody who can manage your project very well. Believe me, if your management is so poor, the people who are working can't work. In fact, it's the management that usually motivates these people. You understand? Yeah, I know you're going to set payment. Yes, you'll pay them, but if they're on ground and nobody's there to to tell them what to do, how to do it, when to do it, get to work, shit, they'll sit and nothing will be moving, nothing at all. So you have to put that into consideration. Management is very, very important, believe me. And if you don't trust the people on ground, please don't do it. Just don't do it, because someone can easily put less cement in that block, and before you know it, yeah, you build with it and your house is getting cracks. You understand? All that pressure, because from the point of roofing, there is pressure exerted on the walls. So if the blocks are not strong or they're not good, believe me, you're going to have cracks in your house before you even move in. Or after a few years after you move in, anyway. Curing, I cured twice a day, but when you're curing, you have to put it into consideration. If you wake up in the morning and the block is still wet, you understand, like that. Oh, the pipe, yeah, the pipe. You can cure with a pipe. These pipes are usually attached on two taps. Yeah, the mouth of the tap. They tie it there, and then you can go long distances with it. You just put your finger on it, on the mouth of the pipe. Yeah, it has to be a hard pipe. Soft pipes are not so good. Hard pipe can aim further. You understand? Or if you don't have a pipe, you can put water into watering cans. It's very efficient. I was still telling you about, if a block is wet like that, please don't water it. Wait until the block is very dry, like white. Literally, it has to look white. And that's how you know it's dry, when it's white. If it's not white, please don't water it. And it's okay to open them up for the sun to go through them, because it depends. If you're in a dry season, just cover them. So you do what they call the slow drying. They still dry, but not at a faster rate. Alright, so thanks for watching. Yeah, I'm glad you've been able to watch till the end. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not yet subscribed. Somebody was telling me some people don't actually know how to subscribe. So if you're looking at my video, right below, yeah, you see a word that's red that says subscribe. So you click on it, and it gives you three alternatives, like three bells, and you click on the first one, which says all. That means you'll be getting all my notifications. Every time I upload a new video, you will be seeing the notification will come on your phone. Yeah. And don't forget to like, comment if you have any questions about what I just discussed, and I will respond. Thank you.